Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are introducing a new playlist to my channel. It is called Pause for the Cause, which is ironically one of my favorite things to say. And with it being Mental Illness Awareness Week here in America, I thought, what better time than to throw her on up now and get it going. So as many of you know, I'm one of those die-hard do-gooders of the world, and I really just like to spread education and awareness. And every once in a while I like to pause for the cause and do a more serious video away from like makeup and beauty and that whole thing. So I will start off by saying, if you are here for the makeup and the unboxings, girl, I got plenty of that on my channel. All sorts of, I think, over 100 videos now of beautiness with your name on it. So please feel free to check out any of those other videos. Definitely be moving away from the makeup for a moment here. I do believe that with this platform, while I'm not a large platform, I am a proud one. Anyone else get that reference? Why don't we just dive in? Today we are talking about mental illness and everything that goes along with it, how you can reach out for help, how you can reach out and help somebody that you love that may be suffering from mental illness. And we're actually going to discuss some of the things that I have suffered with over the years. I will try not to make this like too super emotional or too serious, because you can't ever be too serious about anything. And I feel like even though we all know so much more these days when it comes to mental health, there is so much stigma surrounding it that so many people are afraid to reach out for help. A lot of people, we are so busy with our daily lives, our families, our jobs, school, friends, what have you, that we may not always know when somebody is hurting, or like recognize when somebody is, hurting past that point when they could really use some help. So I do want to start off by saying that if any of you are suffering, honey, there is help out there for you. There are so many resources and support groups, even if you cannot manage to get into a counselor in particular. Of course, you could and you should always start with speaking with your regular physician, your family doctor. But if you cannot go to counseling or support groups, there are so many resources online and so many like support groups like on Facebook and social media where they are very supportive. And if you just need to vent or something, go check them out, because like I said, they are very helpful to those who are lacking a support system or the ability to seek treatment. But of course, you should always talk with your regular care physician and see what they can do, what advice they have. You may not need medication, you may need it, but you'll never know unless you go seek help. So I'm truly encouraging anybody and everybody out there, whether you be suffering from depression, anxiety, addiction, which is indeed another mental illness, and just go out and get help, honey. It's out there. Now, for those of you who do think that or may know that you have somebody in your life who suffers from mental illness, um, my biggest recommendation to you guys is no judgment. Drop the judgment and just be as supportive and warm and welcoming as possible, so that when you do reach out to help them, or they come to you and want help, you are able to help them better because they are more comfortable with you. Because honestly, it seems to me like we have an epidemic of people that are not being treated properly for their mental illness, or that they are too afraid to reach out. And I want to end that as soon as possible. I really think the sooner that people feel more comfortable and less judged, they will go and seek treatment, they will seek help, they will talk to somebody, and really it's that first step that matters, honey. Let me tell you, that first step, feeling comfortable enough to go to somebody that you think that you can trust, and like not being able to talk to them is just so hard. Feeling so alone in that respect is it makes it worse. You know what I mean? And I know I'm not explaining this stuff very well, but I'm explaining it in Becca fashion, so we will carry on. Just being there and being able to drop the judgment at the door, so to speak, and help your friend or your loved one. Is just so important. Of course, I will be leaving some links and phone numbers down in my description that could be possibly helpful to those who are considering seeking help, or somebody who is wanting to reach out to a loved one who is suffering from mental illness in one form or another. These, I truly feel like stigma starts with fear, and generally we fear things that we don't understand. And I feel like if we could just get a better grasp, a better understanding on mental illness, so many less people would be suffering in the world today. And as far as I go, we should start, I suppose, with my mother, who suffered for a long time silently with bipolar disorder, among other things. And I just feel like so many years were wasted when she could have reached out and got the medication and the counseling that she truly desperately needed. And, she would have been so much better off. And I truly believe, especially when it's that severe, the utmost important thing is absolutely to seek treatment. Now, as far as me personally goes, I have suffered with a few things over the years, and we'll start with PTSD. So what happened was, when I was 13, my brother and I were playing with gasoline, and we were young. We were young and stupid, and we lit it on fire. Little did I know that I had actually gotten gasoline on my pant leg, and I set myself on fire, honey. Oh my gosh, one of the most painful things that I have ever been through. It landed me a hospital bed for 6-ish or more weeks, and 3 surgeries, a skin graft, 2 debridements. I lost a lot of like a lot of muscle tissue, and I have a lot of like severe nerve damage. Most of it was third-degree burns. And so it's been a lifelong thing. On top of the pain, I have a lot of scarring, and if I'm feeling brave enough today, I will actually take a picture and show you part of it, and I'll post it up here somewhere. Now, most of my life, I just had like severe nightmares and anxiety, especially like anytime that I would think that I was smelling something burning. Honestly, most of the time I think it was just like all in my head. I thought I smelled gas or something, but like I would legit freak out, like run out of the house with the kids or wherever I was. If somebody was having a bonfire, instead of being up, trying to get warm, I would be far the heck away from it. I still, to this day, what has it been, like 15, 16 years now? To this day, I still have trouble like going to a gas station, because I'm so nervous. That smell just triggers those awful memories again, and all that pain. And so yeah, I have trouble with PTSD, and it has been for sure a lifelong thing. Thankfully, I did reach out and get help when I was younger. My father recognized the symptoms, and he was so amazing about supporting me and making sure that I got my anxiety meds, made sure I got to my counseling. Like, I was lucky to have that taken care of. Now for the other two. So first one I do want to talk to you about is dermatillomania. Now, most of us are more familiar with its sister, trichotillomania, and I'm sure everybody has heard the term like I'm going so crazy I'm pulling my hair out. That's trichotillomania, but I guess you could say it's sister or cousin in that respect is dermatillomania. So with that, you pick your skin like compulsively. It's a like an OCD slash anxiety disorder, and I suppose it was more like more of a secondary thing to my PTSD to kind of help me cope. I would pick at my skin, and it's become so bad, and that's why generally I try to cover my chest because I go to my chest, my arms. I try not to show my elbows too much because those are like some of the first things that I go for, my face. Though I've gotten better at not, picking on my face and like my arms so much, like my legs, everything, honey. And it's like everybody always tells me, just stop picking on yourself, you'll be fine. But I can't. I don't even know that I'm doing it sometimes. Like I don't even realize it until like I've just gone through and messed up my whole arm. But I do try and I have tried everything from medication and counseling to a stress ball and like what are those things? Fidget cubes. Like I've tried everything and it is really so hard. And generally, I don't do it like so much regularly as it is like when I have like anxiety fits, I guess. And so yeah, I go through that. And if you're out there kind of dealing with the same thing, honey, you are not alone. And now, the last thing that I will be coming out about today is less of a mental illness as it is more of a neurological thing, but I suppose like it kind of goes hand in hand. And, this one is it's a little bit more obscure, but I feel like more people suffer from it than they realize, and now is a good time to discuss it. So I deal with something called the pseudobulbar effect, or more commonly known as like inappropriate reactions. The pseudobulbar effect or inappropriate reactions is generally it's a secondary symptom or condition to a neurological disorder or a brain injury. With this one, for me personally, I uncontrollably laugh at like the most inappropriate times. And it's not only just like laughing. I mean, we're talking like tears streaming down my face. I can't breathe. Like I don't want to say this because it is serious, but it's almost like a seizure. Like I can feel it coming on sometimes. Sometimes I can't. Like I sit here and I shake. I have like uncontrollable muscle spasms. Like tears rolling down my face, just laughing my butt off at the wrong things. Generally, when somebody is throwing up, it's it's really bad. So I was at my ex's parents' house for dinner and my son got sick at the table and immediately I had an inappropriate reaction. I started laughing hysterically, uncontrollably. I could do absolutely nothing about it, and I know that these people thought that I was just an asshole for it, but I just honestly, legitimately, I could not control myself. I could not get out of the chair to help. Like everybody's rushing around to help my son and like clean up, and I'm just sitting there. It's so embarrassing. Oh my God, it is so embarrassing. And I have dealt with this since I was a child, and like I can't help it. And it's really like this is the first time, honestly, the first time that I have come out and said anything to anybody outside of my husband about this. So I really just want to let anybody and everybody out there know that as normal as somebody can look on the outside, sometimes they're not on the inside, and it's not always what you see on the outside, honey. So please do feel free, and I encourage you all to reach out to each other should you notice that anybody is suffering for any reason. Girl, we gotta put some love back into this world, because I feel like if we don't now, it's just gonna get worse. And there's so much hate and horrible things going on. So I want to take the initiative and offer a helping hand, a shoulder to cry on, so to speak. Should you all need somebody to reach out to, please feel free to find my links down below, or send me an email at beccabeauty@gmail.com and just talk with me about it. If you don't feel comfortable discussing it with me, find a friend, a loved one, speak to your doctor today. Do not be afraid to go get help. So yeah, that is it for today. We are going to wrap this up, and I just want to say one more time, please do not be afraid to reach out and get help or help someone in need. And if you're feeling brave today, go ahead and leave me a comment explaining your situation so that we can all help each other and help somebody out there in need together, because we are truly in this together, honey. But for now, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and definitely go out and spread some love and positivity today. Baby, we could all use some extra. You're beautiful. I care for you. I truly do. And I love you. Mwah. Bye, everyone.